Hey, Kevin Schmidlin here, host and producer of Philly Who, just checking in real quick. So, you may notice that we haven't released a full episode of Philly Who since December 18th, 2019. Last decade. Well, we've actually been on break from producing the show since early November. At that point, after 18 full months of releasing, or at least trying to release, a new Philly story every week, I and the team took a much-needed break. We needed to recharge, refuel our passion for the project, and also start building out several new and exciting shows that our company, Q9, is working on for 2020. I'll tell you about those some other time. But for now, I have good news and bad news. The good news is that we are so ready to get moving on making the next batch of episodes, and we've already started on working on them. The bad news, as you can guess, is that it takes a pretty long time to produce such heavily curated storytelling content and produce it well. Because of this, Philly Who will be taking a break from releasing episodes until it returns, rebuilt and refreshed on April 1st, 2020. At that point, we'll get right back in the swing of things with weekly episodes, a few live shows, and of course, incredible Philly stories. But we're also going to start to do some things a little bit differently, in ways that I think will do even more to bring the Philly community together. One of the major things that we're going to change is to involve you in the process way earlier. Instead of keeping everything about an episode completely secret for months and months and months and then making a big splash when we drop the name, we're going to be opening up the behind-the-scenes production process on our social media channels. We want you to be a part of this process, suggesting guests, posing questions before the interviews, and maybe even interacting with the guests yourself on live Instagram or whatever that stuff is called. So, if you're down to join in, follow along, and help us out, we're ready for you. Right now. No, seriously, here we go. We want to know whose Philly story you want to hear in the next batch of episodes beginning April 1st. So tell us, right now. Hop on Twitter or Instagram and hit us up at PodPhillyWho to let us know whose story you want to hear, and we'll get on it. To take it the extra step, if you know the person whose story you want to be told, we have a nomination form ready to go right now at podphillywho.com/nominate. By leaving us their contact information, a little bit about them, and why now is a good time to share their story, you'll be helping us get even closer to featuring Philly's most interesting doers, thinkers, and performers. If you've already filled out the nomination form before, please do it again because we kind of had to rebuild that and we lost all the data. But again, that's podphillywho.com/nominate. The link is in the show notes. And yes, you can nominate yourself. So, this will be the last thing to hit the feed until April Fool's Day. In the meantime, if you want to scratch your itch for Philly stories, go ahead and check out the show notes of this episode for some of my favorite stories that we've told since the show launched in early 2018. In fact, if you're going to start with one, you should probably start with the first podcast episode I ever made in my life, which is actually episode 2, the story of Alex Scott of Alex's Lemonade Stand. It is so inspiring, tear-jerking, yet inspiring, and you may not have heard it yet since it came out so very early on in the life of the show. It was the first interview I ever did in my life, and as you hear, I had a huge amount of beginner's luck, very much thanks to Alex's mom, Liz. Check it out. So, anyway, as always, hit us up on Twitter and Instagram at PodPhillyWho to say hi. Hit me up at ThePhillyKev to be friends, and let us know there or at podphillywho.com/nominate. Link is in the show notes. Who we should feature in the next batch of episodes beginning April 1st. Sky's the limit. Let us know. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Philly Who Studio, powered by CIC, and to everyone who has supported the show so much so far. And we'll see you soon.